Good evening. Welcome to our show. Thank you for taking time out of the start of your weekend to spend time here with our junior class for our really big project, our class play. This year's play is called Murder on the 518, and all of that's going to make sense in just a minute. But before we get started, first, I wanted to thank you on behalf of our junior class for you coming and supporting us. But also, I wanted to give you a little heads up about a couple of things. There's going to be some sound effects in the play, and they're going to be pretty loud. So if you have littles with you, just make sure you hold on to them a little bit tighter, okay? And there's going to be some funny characters, and there's going to be some funny lines. It's going to be a good time, so feel free to laugh and laugh hard and then laugh harder, okay? If you know anything about this group, they do not mind extra attention. So give them all of the attention you want to, and they will thrive, I promise. There's also going to be an intermission. When you see the lights, the house lights go all the way up, that'll tell you that intermission has started. And we've got a concession stand out there. I hear that some of you have already gotten some snacks, so that's perfect. You're my kind of people, okay? Grab some more at intermission. And then, so intermission will be about 10 to 15 minutes, and then we'll come back in here, and we'll finish off this super fun show. I hope you enjoy it. They've been working really, really hard. They might be a little bit nervous, so don't be afraid to break the ice with some laughs for them, okay? I'm going to pray for them really quickly that the Lord will help them, and then we're going to get started. Let's pray. Thank you, Lord, for tonight. Thank you for bringing us a crowd of people who are willing to take time to support us and to enjoy this show with us. And I pray that you would be with us now during the show, be with the students and the lights and the sounds and all the things, all of the elements of this show, and help it to just go smoothly and to go great. And I pray, Lord, that ultimately you would get the glory. And we just thank you for things like this, like shows and plays and laughs that you give us to enjoy in this life. And I pray that you would never let us take these things for granted. And just give us a good time tonight during the show. And we love you very much. Thank you for loving us. In your name I pray. Amen. All right, enjoy the ride.
All aboard West Coast Company, bound for Los Angeles, now boarding on platform 2, departure
on the beach,
Visiting all the museums.
going on all the rides at Disneyland.
Seeing all the stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
I'm so excited. I have been looking forward to this trip every minute of every day since our wedding. I don't want anything to spoil this wonderful honeymoon of ours.
We better hurry up and get our tickets. We wouldn't want to miss the train.
Good idea.
Elliot entered the train station. The platform was brightly lit against dimming light of waning day. People were moving to and fro, hustling and bustling, excited to get to their destinations. Elliot approached the ticket counter, eager to begin his journey.
Excuse me, sir, may I help you?
As Elliot approached the ticket counter, the young ticket seller asked, "May I help you?" Elliot replied, "Why, yes, thank you. One for Los Angeles, please."
Excuse me, sir, are you saying that you would like to purchase one ticket to Los Angeles?
Sigh. Elliot sighed in frustration at the ticket seller, who did not seem to comprehend his simple request to purchase a ticket to Los Angeles. It was imperative that Elliot get to Los Angeles the next day to meet with his publisher and present his latest collection of short stories.
Sir, if I can have your attention for 1 second.
Yes! I need to purchase a ticket to Los Angeles. I just said that.
Okay, sorry, I wasn't sure if you were talking to me or your, notepad.
As a writer, I need to be constantly aware of my surroundings and record every detail so that I can incorporate it into my work.
Well, I see. Here's your ticket. Enjoy your ride.
Ticket finally in hand. Elliot.
How can I help you, sir?
One ticket for the Los Angeles.
All right, and will you be bringing your sports equipment with you, or would you like me to check that bag?
My equipment goes where I go. Never know when the opportunity to use it will arise. Need to be prepared.
I don't think there will be an opportunity to play basketball on the train, sir.
I didn't become Mike Umbar, top sports recruiter in the Western Conference with that type of attitude.
Excuse me? I feel that the pursuit of knowledge is a most noble endeavor. I hope the students you recruit understand the value of receiving an education and do not spend the entirety of their college experience seeking the approval of mindless sports fans.
How dare you talk about sports that way? Sports provide teamwork, physical fitness, critical thinking, and so much more. Just who do you think you are?
Professor Holly Barnes, University of Utah, Department of Physics and Astronomy. While you spend your time recruiting people to run around a basketball court in circles, I spend my time researching the night sky.
Isn't it a little bright in Los Angeles to be researching the night sky?
Well, for your information, I'm going to the city to give a presentation on the Perseids at the Griffith Observatory. The meteor shower this August was particularly spectacular due to the setting of the waxing crescent moon.
And you think I'm the crazy one? You're speaking gibberish, nerd.
Oh, Neanderthal.
Next two customers, please.
Good evening. One for Los Angeles, please.
I'm heading for Los Angeles, too. One for Los Angeles. I'm Abby Wells.
Dr. Lauren Maloney. It's nice to meet you.
You're a doctor? I study medicine. Well, veterinary medicine. I'm heading to Los Angeles to get experience as an aquatic vet tech. It's a little hard to study marine life in Utah. I bet you could teach me a lot.
Well, that's nice of you to say, but I'm an emergency room physician, not a veterinarian. I don't think I'll be able to help you very much with your marine studies.
But so much of medicine can be applied across discipline. I read that in my Introduction to Marine Studies book. I think they were talking about animals, but I mean, humans are mammals are okay. Humans are mammals, right?
Listen, I do love my job, but everyone needs some time off. Wouldn't you agree? I'm spending my time off with some family in Los Angeles, and truly, work is the last thing I want to think about while I'm there. It was nice meeting you, though.
Enjoy your ride. Next two customers, please.
Hey there. One for the city of flowers and sunshine, friend?
I'm sorry, where?
The City of Angels, the Big Orange, La La Land.
I'm afraid I still don't understand you.
He means Los Angeles. And can you please stop your tapping? I've been trying to read the same paragraphs over and over the whole time we were in line because I can't concentrate with all that racket. I also need one ticket for Los Angeles, please.
Why so serious, my newspaper reading friend? What is it that's taking you to the coast anyway?
I'm not your friend. I'm Owen Casey, private investigator, and I'm trying to read this article about bank fraud, but you seem intent on stopping that from happening. And of course, we're on the same train.
Private investigator, huh? That's pretty exciting. Music can be exciting too. Probably in a different way.
Definitely in a different way. And since you'll probably tell me anyhow, what takes you to Los Angeles? Peace and love?
I am going to become a musical sensation. This guitar here is my ticket to the good life. It won't be long before you see the name Nelson Henry in that newspaper of yours, friend.
I'm not your friend. And stop your racket.
That doesn't make any sense, Jennifer. You can't base the success of a restaurant on desserts alone. It's not a bakery. It's not a cafe. It is a restaurant. The main entrees are going to be the feature.
You aren't even listening to me, Derek. That isn't what I said at all. The restaurant won't survive if we bill it as just another seafood place in Los Angeles. We have to have that extra piece of flair that draws people in, and that flair will be found in my desserts.
Spoken like a true pastry chef, making yourself the center of attention. Well, I am the executive chef, and the owners told me that I could take the restaurant in any direction I wanted when they hired us as the new chef team.
Exactly. Chef team, as in both of us, not the Chef Derek show.
Excuse me. Do you two need to purchase tickets? We need to keep the line moving forward, please.
Sorry for the holdup. My husband always seems to think that he is the center of attention both in and out of the kitchen. 2 for Los Angeles, please.
Jennifer, if we are ever going to get this restaurant off the ground, you need to realize that I deserve to be the center of attention in the kitchen.
Are you serious? What part of the word team seems to be confusing you? You're
Next 2 customers, please.
This place is just disgusting. Just look around. It's too hot. The train is making smoke. And is that sand blowing around the floor?
Yes.
Oh, this is not a place I should be expected to set foot in.
Isabella, we have been over this. We have to take the train to Los Angeles. It's part of your next movie, Sunset on the Rails. West Coast Railways, which is the company providing the trains for the film, said that they won't have their name in it unless you are actually seen on one of their passenger cars. It's in your contract.
Well, Lucy, I have no idea why you agreed to that. You are supposed to look out for my interests, and this is not something a movie star would be interested in.
I'm your assistant, Isabella, not your agent. He's the one that agreed to this, not me. Besides, I'm sure it's not as bad as you're making it out to be.
Excuse me, miss. Those 2 women were in line before you. If you could please step to the side.
We can move.
Do you know who I am? I'm Isabella Madison, star of the movie One More Day, which is currently the top-grossing film in Iceland, Greenland, and Norway. I don't step aside, and I certainly don't wait in lines with people. People wait in lines for me.
That is ridiculous. Just because you're a movie star doesn't mean you can cut in front of people in line.
It's fine. Take care of them. I can wait. Don't worry about it. We'll get to the car in a minute.
She can't just get on the way. She made some foreign film that nobody's ever even heard of. Besides, you're the CEO of Salt Lake Pharmaceuticals. You deserve more respect for what she does. She should wait in line behind you.
Yes, Jillian, and you're my assistant. And I'm the CEO. I'm telling you not to worry about it. And that is final. I don't care if the only sleeper cars you have left house 2 people. I demand my own. And when is dinner? I am just famished from this whole ordeal.
Dinner will be served at 7 o'clock in the dining car. Breakfast will be served at 8 in the morning in the same car.
The food on this train had better be prepared by competent chefs.
The last thing I need on this venture is substandard cuisine. And I had best have my own table in the dining car. I absolutely will not have my meals disturbed by whatever other nonsensical people are on this ridiculous train trip. Ugh.
Sorry for the holdup, ladies. Thank you for your patience. Where are you heading?
Not a problem. It wasn't your fault. 2 tickets to Los Angeles, please.
Would you like to check any of your bags?
No, thank you. We need to go straight to our meeting with Sunset Pharmaceuticals as soon as the train arrives, and we don't want to have to wait for our baggage to be unloaded.
I still don't understand why we couldn't have just flown there, Miss Millen. We could have been there by tonight and had plenty of time to prepare for your presentation. Or should I say your takeover? This is the 3rd company that Salt Lake Pharmaceuticals has acquired this year.
You know we can't take our pharmaceutical samples on a plane. I worry that the change in air pressure will get to them, and then the presentation will fall flat. This is a big acquisition, Jillian. We can't have anything go wrong.
Of course you're right, Miss Millen, as always.
All aboard West Coast 508 for Los Angeles. Final boarding code, approaching 5 minutes. All aboard West Coast 518.
I need one ticket on the 518, please.
The train to Los Angeles?
It doesn't matter where it's heading. All that matters is that Isabella Madison is on it. And that means I need to be on it too.
If I may ask, why must you be on the train with her, sir?
Because I'm Sydney Bennett, paparazzo extraordinaire. I heard that she had to ride a train for her new contract, and I followed her to Salt Lake City on her movie tour. I've been sitting in this station for 2 days waiting on her to show up.
We're aware.
But my patience has paid off, because I watched every single person board this train, and no one else is here on assignment. Photos of Isabella Madison throwing her tantrums on this train are going to skyrocket me to the top.
All right.
All aboard West Coast 518 for Los Angeles is now departing.
stood anxiously awaiting the arrival of their occupants, eager to fulfill their purpose. 3 staff members moved excitedly about, each diligently seeing to their duties.
Good evening, sir. The dining car has assigned seating. May I see your ticket, please?
Elliot was startled by the arrival of the steward. He had not known that he would need to bring his ticket to dinner with him, and was frightfully unprepared for the conversational exchange.
Excuse me, sir, but the dining car has assigned seating. If you could just tell me your sleeping cabin number, I can check my list and tell you your seating assignment. We posted a chart by the entrance, but you arrived beforehand.
I like to be the first to arrive in group settings. It gives me the opportunity to make as many observations as I can for my short stories. I'm Elliot Williams, writer, sleeping cabin 14.
Ah, yes, Mr. Williams. Turns out cabin 14 is actually assigned to this table. May I bring you something else to drink while you wait?
Elliot was pleased with the good fortune of selecting the table at which he was meant to sit, as he desired no other beverage than the water already provided. The remaining staff returned to the kitchen to continue with dinner preparations.
It says right here that working on a beach rescue must be just as taxing as working in an emergency room. I told you there's so much you can teach me.
Yes, I do imagine that rescuing an injured sea creature on a beach can be a very stressful situation. But as I said before, I would really prefer to leave work off the train. I would just like to enjoy my travel in peace. Okay, cabin 6, table 2.
Oh my goodness! I'm a table 2 with you. I'm gonna have the best of time.
At least one of us will.
I truly hope you're not planning to entertain the diners with that instrument. Some of us came to the dining car to actually dine.
Well, you never know when inspiration might strike, friend. And some people find that listening to music while dining can be a very enjoyable experience.
That's true. I've been trying to convince my husband that adding tasteful live music in our restaurant could be a huge draw for patrons. I think that it would help set us apart from other restaurants in the area. But he's convinced live music would detract from the atmosphere.
Is your husband on this train, friend? I would love to talk to him about the benefits of music and eating, and maybe I can offer my services to this restaurant of yours.
He is supposed to be meeting me here for dinner. He ran off as soon as we got on board to go who knows where, but I'm not going to stand around and wait for him. He can just meet me at the table. It was nice to meet you.
Nelson Henry, musical sensation. I'll keep an eye out for this husband of yours, and maybe we can convince him that music is the key to success. Hey there, buddy.
The same train, and now the same table? What does a guy have to do to get a break around here?
Come on now, friend. We're gonna have a great time together on this journey of ours. You gotta give our friendship a chance.
Why is that exactly?
Well, you never know when you might need a friend. In fact, I know a song about that.
Oh, you really don't have to.
No, please, just don't.
Well, maybe my writer friend would enjoy a nice dinner tune. I was just saying how much music can enhance the dining atmosphere.
Elliot winced at the prospect of the guitar-wielding man at his dinner table regaling him in song. However, he decided to give in, as resistance would likely only delay the song's inevitable arrival.
Come on now, friends. Why so serious?
I'm not your friend. And do you even know what the word serious means? How do you expect to launch your music career being this passive?
I think you're misunderstanding me, investigative friend. I am very serious about my music. But where will I get if I'm as uptight as you? not even willing to make a friend, or always having my face in a notepad. I want to enjoy the journey.
Well, you may want to enjoy the journey. I want to record the journey. Writers need a great deal of material to create and work from. And recording conversations like these helps provide some of that material.
You know, in some ways, being a private investigator is a lot like that. Like in this bank fraud case I was just investigating. The scheme was complex, and there were a lot of moving players in the game. But if I hadn't been paying attention to my surroundings, I never would have realized that it was the security guard walking the bonds right out the front door.
Okay, serious friends. No dinner music. Perhaps I can channel some of this serious energy into writing a serious song. May I borrow a piece of paper, writer friend?
He's not your friend either. None of us are friends.
Our first honeymoon meal, darling. And look, we're at table 1.
And we're in cabin 1. It must be because we boarded the train first.
I think it's because you're my number 1, and I'm your number 1.
Oh my goodness, you two must be on your honeymoon. No one who's been married longer than a week would be acting like the two of you.
We are on our honeymoon, but we've been married for 3 weeks, and we love each other as much as ever.
Are you married?
Yes, I am. Though, I seem to be flying solo at the moment. Where on earth is Derek? Dinner's going to be served soon. I guess I'll just order for him.
You know, I'm sure your case of samples have been just fine in your cabin this time. I mean, your cabin door locks and the case is locked on it. And after all, you are the only one with the key.
You're probably right, but like I said before, this acquisition is just too important to leave anything to chance. No samples, no presentation, no acquisition. I'll just slip it under the table right here while we eat, and I'll feel much better.
Of course.
That's a nice camera you got there. Are you a professional photographer? I'm sure you can take some lovely shots of the scenery while we travel.
Of sorts. But the only thing that I want to photograph is right here.
Wait, I recognize you from the train station. What were you doing sitting around a train to catch?
Can you please keep it down? I'm here to photograph Isabella Madison. You know, the movie star. I need to go sit down before she gets here.
A paparazzo, eh? Those people cause all sorts of trouble for good athletes. They should leave people in peace.
I believe that if people don't want the attention of the media, then perhaps they should choose careers that are less high profile.
Just because no one is interested in what you do doesn't make what we do less important.
I believe that says people in general. You are the one who brought up athletes. You're completely insufferable.
Didn't I see you two arguing earlier? What's going on?
We're just having a little disagreement about academics. I feel that the pursuit of knowledge is the most noble endeavor. Coach here does not.
You know, I never actually said that studying wasn't important.
Yes, you did, at the ticket counter.
No, I said I was a sports recruiter, and you went right on about how dumb sports are. I never got a word in edgewise. I went to school on a sports scholarship, you know, to study. I never would have made it to school without that scholarship.
And what is your degree? A bachelor's in being loud and obnoxious?
You know, being physically and mentally fit is important for people. It's important for animals too. Some animals are smart enough to play games with each other and create tools for themselves. Isn't that neat?
I have to agree with Abby here. As doctors, we frequently tell patients that physical and mental acuity are both very important. I see a lot of people in the emergency room who could have prevented injury by either being in better shape or by using their minds to avoid the injury-causing situation in the first place.
See, the good doctor here says people need to use their minds while engaging in physical activity.
Yeah, I'm sure looking up at the stars while you run will really help avoid injury.
And there you go again.
What on earth were you doing in the kitchen?
I'm a chef, aren't I? I was doing market research for our restaurant.
in the kitchen of a train?
You have to be more open-minded, Jennifer. You never know what you can learn from new situations.
This from the man who shot down every one of my ideas. See what I mean about marriage? This is what I get to deal with.
Don't listen to her. We're just a little on edge because of this new restaurant we're opening.
Oh, you own a restaurant. That sounds exciting.
Well, we don't own the restaurant. Not yet, anyway. The owner is one of those investment real estate types. He bought the restaurant thinking that it would be a breeze to run as a sort of side business for himself. But he found out pretty quickly that running a restaurant is really hard work. So he started to look for some people with decent experience.
The owner is letting us totally design everything down to the paint on the walls and the napkin colors. We're hoping that if this goes well, we might be able to buy the restaurant down the road.
Is it hard going into business with your spouse? I mean, Rachel and I love spending time together. We go to 2 separate jobs during the day.
It's definitely been a challenge. And we have been arguing a lot lately.
You're right, Jen. Let's enjoy the rest of this trip. One night without talking about the restaurant. We can pick it up tomorrow.
Sounds good to me. So, what sites are you two planning to see on your honeymoon?
Isabella, there you are. Did you really have to change your outfit for dinner? The one you wore before was just fine.
A movie star belongs to the public, Lucy. These people might have already seen me today. They expect me to change my outfit.
Whatever. It's past 7 and they're trying to serve dinner. I checked the chart. We're at table 3.
Lucy, who are these people sitting at my table?
I don't know the people who are seated here. Why? What is the problem?
You might recall that when we purchased our tickets on this ill-conceived journey, I demanded my own dining table. I will not be forced to interact with these commoners.
Excuse me? With all due respect, Miss Madison, this tantrum is completely unnecessary. I can assure you that Jillian and myself will be perfectly amicable with dinner.
Really? This is the second time today that you've treated us like this. We don't deserve it. Nobody here deserves to be talked down to or told that they're commoners either.
Oh, Miss Madison, we are trying to accommodate every one of your requests, but we cannot make more tables appear. Can you please sit down so we can serve the meal? Everyone is quite hungry.
Please, you don't even have to look or talk to them. Please just sit down.
Fine, but you had all better be prepared to give me everything I request for the remainder of this journey, or none of you will be employed after this. I am Isabella Madison, and I will be treated as such.
I cannot believe how she keeps treating you. If this were a pharmaceutical conference, you could be making demands like she is. She has no idea who she's talking to.
Jillian, please. We cannot always choose who we have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. We will be the more mature people in this situation and be better for it. Now let's sit down and try to enjoy our meal.
I don't think we were actually introduced. I'm Lucy Blake, Isabella's assistant. We're pleased to meet you.
A pleasure. I'm Avery Millen, CEO of Salt Lake Pharmaceuticals. This is my assistant, Jillian Hill.
I've heard of that company. It's an honor to meet the CEO.
You know, actually, Miss Millen is the youngest CEO in the company's history, and she's grown the corporation more under her leadership than the last 3 CEOs combined.
Yes, thank you, Jillian. She makes it sound more exciting than it really is, though. It's a challenge to grow a small company, and our current growth is only because of the work all the others before me put in.
That is still some pretty impressive accomplishments. Did you study business?
Miss Millen studied chemistry. Most of our top pharmaceuticals are based on Miss Millen's own chemical designs.
Again, thank you, Jillian. After the previous CEO retired, the board of directors thought it would be a positive change to have someone in charge who understood how the products we sell actually work. I did end up doing some business studies, but Jillian's a huge help with the business side of things.
Still, that's really cool. I studied business management myself. I would not know a thing about pharmaceuticals. So I can see what the board of directors was thinking. Sounds like that's working out well for them.
Wait, you studied business management? To get bossed around by a demanding movie diva?
Jillian!
No, it's fine. I get this question a lot. Actually, Isabella and I went to high school together. And then we went to the same college. But after she started getting her promotions and stuff for TV and shows and everything, she asked me to be her assistant because she knows nothing about business. And to be honest, I really needed a job. Working with Isabella is great for now, but one day I would like to get into a different line of business.
good reason to get the train to stop. We will see to it right away.
I'm an investigator, so maybe I can help. I can't see anything. We're too far away from the front of the train. So let's go check it out.
I don't think that's such a good idea, my sports lane friend. We should probably stay put till we hear what's going on, you know?
That would be your solution, wouldn't it? Just use brute force. Climb out of the train car, run headlong into a potentially dangerous situation.
And if we're up to you, we would sit here all day waiting for information. Take some action.
We have been here for all these moments, so patience would benefit you.
No.
Yes, we would.
Wait. Let's take him out the window so we can see.
What?
Wait.
No.
Wait.
Hey! Listen up! We went to the front of the train, and the conductor says there was a rock slide on the track.
I was
Rock slide.
They already have people cleaning it up, and we should be on our way in no time.
We greatly apologize for the inconvenience. If you would all like to return to your rooms, then we can serve the meal again at a later time.
Great idea.
Thank God. Isabella, really, it's not so bad. We brought lots of clothes for dinner. Isabella! Oh my gosh!
Miss Madison, everyone back up! Give us some space. You, are you taking pictures? Stop that! You, give me your jacket, use the blanket. You, call 911. You, give me that pitcher of water. You, give me those napkins. I'm short. I have to fly. How can I help? There's nothing you can do. I can. So, I have lots of skills.
Abby, listen to me. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing I can do. She's dead.
I cannot believe Isabella's dead. It's just awful.
I know. She was so young, and she wasn't sick or anything.
Wow. Nothing like someone dying to ruin the feel-good atmosphere of dinner, friends.
I'm so sorry about Isabella. I know you said the two of you were friends for a long time.
And I don't understand what happened. The entire time she was fine. At the ticket counter, she was fine. Before the trip, she was fine. At dinner, even, she was fine. And then she just dies? I don't understand. Did she hit her head when the train stopped suddenly? Or choked on what she was eating?
I doubt it. If something like that had happened, she would have made a scene about it, and all of us would have known.
What is the matter with you? A young woman drops dead and you make jokes about her?
I'm sure he didn't mean to make a joke. Right, everyone?
Yeah.
He just meant that Isabella didn't mention getting injured or feeling sick at all. She didn't react like she was choking.
There's no cell reception here. We must be too far into the mountains right now, and I'm having no luck getting a call through to the authorities. But train personnel are trying to get a hold of someone on the radio and have asked me to take on the investigation in the meantime. Lord, did you notice any clues about how she may have died? You're the medical expert here.
Actually, Abby and I were just discussing that. I didn't notice any injuries of any type, and when I tried CPR, her airway was clear, which disproves the idea that she may have choked.
Can you determine a cause of death?
Unfortunately, I have no way of determining what caused that to happen. It appears that her heart just stopped.
Lucy, did Isabella have any sort of history of heart disease? Was she taking any medicine?
No, the last time she went to a doctor was a while ago, but she was completely healthy. If something was wrong, I would have known about it. And we didn't even pick up any medication for the trip. She hated taking any sorts of drugs at all.
Do you think it was something she ate? Should we be worried?
I don't think we have to worry about that. Most all of us ate the same food. If there was something wrong with dinner, more than one of us would have been affected. And besides, other than some kinds of fish, I can't think of any foods that just make your heart stop. We didn't eat anything like that. I mean, you can get food poisoning. Sometimes that can be really serious, but it isn't instantaneous.
So, let me get this straight. Isabella had no history of heart disease or illness of any kind. She didn't eat anything that may have gotten her sick. And she didn't get hurt when the train stopped suddenly. Her heart just stopped.
Hold on. Are you saying what I think you're saying?
It seems so unlikely. You don't really think. Wait, what are you saying?
I'm saying that I don't think this was an accident. I'm saying that I think Isabella Madison was murdered.
Elliot could hardly contain his shock and surprise. Murder on the 518? Improbable. But not impossible. The passengers began to speculate as they tried to process this.
You seriously think that someone here could have killed her? I mean, all of us were right here together when it happened. Wouldn't we have seen something?
Rachel and I definitely do not plan to murder anyone during our honeymoon. Romantic trips do not include bodies in the dining room.
Hold on there, my romantic friends. Actually, not everyone was all around at the time of our movie star friend's death.
Nelson's right. Derek and Jennifer ran to the kitchen right when the train stopped. And Owen followed the waiter out. How can we know what they were doing when they were gone?
Elliot is right. I did leave the room. I had gone to find out why the train had stopped. But think about it. If I had left the room, when would I have been close enough to Isabella to harm her? And what would my motive have been anyway? Any investigator worth his salt will tell you that a crime needs two things: motive and opportunity. I didn't have either one. But the people who were actually in the room the whole time had much more of an opportunity.
And Jen and I went to the kitchen to make sure the sudden stop didn't cause a fire or injure anyone. We're chefs, you know.
And what motive would we have had? Isabella didn't do anything to us.
You didn't seem too happy in the scene when she declared you a commoner.
Well, neither did you. It seems like that could have been motivation for someone like a professor to get pretty upset.
Someone like myself commit murder over something as frivolous as a minor insult seems highly unlikely to me. But someone like you could have done it.
Why accuse me? I'm an athlete. Why?
You know, the doctor's the one who went from person to person right after the train stopped. She had the most opportunity.
I don't appreciate your insinuation. I am a healer. A crisis happened, and I jumped in to help. While I have no desire to participate in this absurd debate, I feel the need to point out that you and your boss represent a pharmaceutical company,
Wait a second.
which would give you access to potentially life-threatening materials. Not to mention, we all witnessed the fact that Isabella treated you both brutally the entire evening. Wouldn't that make you both prime suspects of foul play?
No. Absolutely not. Pharmacists take an oath too, you know? My goal is to never do any harm with my products. I would never use my company's resources to intentionally hurt someone.
Wait, what about Elliot? A good murderer could be exactly the inspiration he needs to write a great story. After all, he did say real life is the best story material.
I'm much too busy recording events to be a part of it. And besides, from what I have recorded, Lucy is obviously the most likely suspect in foul play.
That is crazy. She was my best friend.
She may have been your best friend at one point, but it's clear that she treated you very poorly, ordering you around, making unrealistic demands, making you clean up her messes, and you never left her side. You had the best opportunity and the best motive.
I mean, she's right. Pressure like that can make you do crazy things.
We all saw how badly Isabella treated you, but you still say she was your best friend? What kind of sense does that make?
Everyone, just hold on! You're all forgetting one very important thing. Okay, so Lucy had motive and opportunity, but she's not the only one. She's not the only person who follows Isabella everywhere. she's not the only one who relies on Isabella for her career. In fact, if Isabella died, her career would be over. But Sydney's career would skyrocket.
Sydney!
The money he would make from having exclusive photos of Isabella's murder would take him straight to the top.
Yeah. People. I did not kill this woman.
Sure. You must admit, Sydney, Owen makes a compelling argument for your participation in this crime. Can you definitively prove that you are not involved?
Okay. I know I got a little excited at the mention of the word.
A little?
But this does not mean that I wanted her dead. Sure, I'm going to profit off of this.
What?
But wouldn't you all get a little excited over something that could improve your career? Most of you are going to Los Angeles for work anyway.
Not anymore. She's dead.
I'm afraid I'm not convinced. I will have to confiscate your camera.
No! My camera? Why?
You say that you didn't do this, and I do want to believe you. Innocent until proven guilty, right? So you've been taking pictures all night. You may have taken a picture of Isabella's murder that can help identify what happened.
Okay. But I'm staying with you while you look through my pictures. I go where my camera goes.
I'd like to join you both while you look. If the cause of Isabella's death does turn out to be something we all came into contact with, I'd like to find out as soon as possible.
I can help too. It's a lot like trying to figure out why an animal's sick. You don't know why. You have to sleuth for the answer.
Sure it is.
So, you guys really think that he may have taken a picture of the murderer when nobody else saw anything?
Well, no one was looking for a murderer when the event actually happened. Now we have the opportunity to go back through the night knowing what we were looking for. Sydney's obsession with taking pictures of Isabella might end up helping her after all.
Hey, don't you think we should do something with his body? I mean, I'm no expert, but I don't think leaving it at the dining hall until we get to Los Angeles tomorrow is really a good idea.
Fair point. If this was a murder, I'd hate to disturb the crime scene. But I can't very well leave it here.
Can we all just stop calling Isabella it?
Lucy, maybe you should go back to your room and lie down.
Hold on there, my business lady friend. If there really is a murderer among us, is it really smart for us to separate from one another?
I agree with Nelson, especially since we do not yet know who the dangerous person is.
Well, you know what? All I want is to have a nice honeymoon. I have a very hard time believing that anyone here would have murdered anyone else. Lucy, how about you stay with us?
Are you sure? I mean, I really don't want to stay alone, but I don't want to intrude on your honeymoon.
We would love to have you join us, Lucy. Rachel's right. We don't even know that a murder happened here. Everyone needs to stop jumping to conclusions. Someone died and that's awful. Do we have to make it more awful?
Alright, listen up here, pansies. Right now, we need a plan. First, Isabella's body. Who has an idea?
Actually, I do. When Jen and I were in the kitchen, we commented that the train had a really large refrigerator. I think this train must have been designed for much longer trips than just overnight. I bet we could use it for this. As long as everyone's okay with dry cereal for breakfast tomorrow.
Okay, that's a start. Derek and Jennifer, go handle that. Next, has anyone got through the police yet? I'll take that as a no. Elliot, Nelson, go to the front of the train and find the conductor or engineer or someone and figure out if they have successfully radioed for help.
Elliot leapt to action, eager to gain more information for the benefit of the situation. Come on, Nelson.
Come on, Elliot. My writer friend, maybe we shouldn't write while we walk.
Now the rest of us are going to sit here and do nothing until they get back. Well, unless you want to look at the camera. Then knock yourselves out.
Owen, shouldn't you be giving the directions? Aren't you the investigator?
Private investigators usually work behind the scenes. Once my mind starts working on a case, I tend to forget about the things going on around me. Let's get started looking at these pictures. Sydney certainly captured the whole night on that camera.
Well, it appears that someone likes to hear himself talk.
Oh, shut it. I didn't see you stepping up to take any action. Seems like something a smart person would do.
Being able to bark out orders does not automatically qualify you as being intelligent. But you did get people moving in the right direction.
right direction. Looks like we're moving again.
Good news. We helped the kitchen staff clear the space in the cooler for Isabella's body. They're actually cooking most of the food now for our replacement dinner.
One foot in front of the other. All right. You sit right there. Here's the story, traveling friends. Our train conductor friends have been in radio contact with the authorities. However, we're basically in the middle of nowhere right now. They want us to proceed to our final destination of Los Angeles, where we'll probably have to put off our arrival plans until we speak to our police friends.
Alrighty, Miss Millen, what if we miss your presentation? That's the whole point of us being here.
I'm sure the company will understand if we have to reschedule given the circumstances.
No, I'm gonna try to call them. Maybe I'll have some reception and I can figure out the schedule.
Hey guys, help us move Isabella's body to the cooler. Lauren, come see if you think this will work for the rest of the trip.
Okay. I'll come too.
Of course you will.
Hey, I don't think you have the capability of moving her, so.
Okay.
All right, into the knees, guys.
Up, my left, your right, left, right, left, right.
Are you seriously still taking pictures? What is the matter with you? She is dead.
You bet I'm still taking pictures. Do you have any idea how much money I'm gonna get for these?
Wow. Really? Really?
Seriously? That's very inappropriate. And declaring that you're going to capitalize on her murder definitely doesn't make you sound innocent. Plus, the police are going to confiscate the camera when we reach Los Angeles. It's evidence.
It's private property. They'll have to give it back eventually. And I'll still be the only one with these photos.
Excuse me, everyone, but the kitchen staff is ready to serve the meal. If you could all please vacate the dining area for a few minutes, we'll get this mess cleaned up and have dinner ready momentarily.
I'm sorry, but we'd better leave the dining room as is. If Isabella's death was due to foul play, there may be evidence in the room that can help identify what happened. Can we serve dinner somewhere else?
The lounge car should be available, but I don't know if there's enough table space. As long as some people are willing to stand, it should be an excellent place to dine.
Honey was surprised. And the physical strength necessary for the task of moving a body. Even with this isn't many, he required immediate sustenance.
What I think Elliot means to say is that it was much harder than I expected. Jen, pass me my water.
Everything seems like it'll be fine in the kitchen, but it's a good thing this is a short trip. This is definitely not a long-term storage solution.
Everyone, we know that you are all very hungry. If you will proceed to the lounge car, we will serve the meal there tonight.
I think I'm just gonna go to my room. I've had enough excitement for one night.
That sounds good to me. Rachel, how about we with Lucy?
Actually, a quiet dinner in my room sounds appealing. Can we just make our plates and take them elsewhere?
Sounds good to me. What does our investigator think?
I suppose folks could eat in their rooms. It's not like anyone's going anywhere.
If you guys wish, you can collect your plates in the lounge and take them back to your sleeping quarters.
Does that mean we're here?
Sir, dinner is being served in the lounge car. Sir. Sir.
Sydney, can you hear me? Abby, it's no use. His heart stopped. He's dead.
Okay, everyone. It's time we face the facts. It's possible to believe that one death was a unique occurrence. But with two deaths, we can't deny it anymore. There is a murderer on this show. We don't know who,
We don't know how, and we don't know why. But if we don't figure it out soon, there could be more of us dead before we reach Los Angeles.
Your expression is most captivating. You look despondent. Elliot sat across the table from the despondent young woman. She sat in silence, quietly clinging to the small golden trinket around her neck. Elliot wondered at the significance of the tiny golden piece.
Isabella gave it to me. I didn't even realize I was playing with it.
The young woman was clearly deeply affected by the sudden loss of her close friend and employer.
She wasn't just a close friend. She was my best friend. And I don't know if I'm angry or sad or frightened or what I'm feeling.
Probably despondent.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt, but I really don't understand.
Hey, Jillian, I didn't see you come in. What do you mean?
How can you say Isabella was your best friend? I mean, she really didn't seem to care about you, or anyone else for that matter.
I think sometimes success does things to people. Isabella never really cared about being famous. She just wanted to act. She was always the happiest when playing a part.
You mean to tell me she was pretending to be mean?
Isabella's agent was always telling her that people don't pay attention to nice movie stars, and that if she really wanted to get noticed, she would make a scene wherever she went. And I know it always seemed like she was so cruel to me, but I know that just wasn't her. That crazy Isabella you all saw, that's just how she acts in public. Playing another part, I guess.
Well, I mean, I had no idea.
Not a lot of people do, but because she's created this whole image on being a stereotypical crazy movie star, I always thought that she could have just made it by being herself. And maybe if she just wasn't so awful, she would still be alive. Anyway, you spend a lot of time with Avery. You must see a lot of her personalities, right?
I mean, I guess a little, but she's pretty much the same person all the time. I like things to be straightforward, you know? Anyways, it's been a long night. You should probably get some rest. I think they're still serving dinner in the lounge car.
Thanks for listening. A lot of people keep trying to interrogate me because they think I killed my best friend and a crazy photographer chasing after her. You're right. It's been a long day. I think I'm just gonna skip dinner and go to bed.
Rachel, what is the matter?
Sweetheart, Rachel, what's wrong? Why did you run out of the lounge crying?
This isn't how our honeymoon was supposed to go. I wanted it to be perfect.
I know. I wanted it to be perfect, too.
Now when we get to Los Angeles, we're going to have to spend our time in a police station being accused of murder instead of sightseeing and celebrating our wedding. We didn't do anything wrong.
I know that, sweetheart. All I want is to be with you, too. But we're all suspects. We have to let the police do their job.
Circumstances got you down, honeymoon friends?
Yes, this honeymoon is turning out to be a disaster.
I mean, well, it's not all that bad.
Are you serious? 2 people have been murdered and you say it's not all that bad?
I mean, it wasn't either of you who got murdered, right? And maybe you'll have to put off your arrival plans a little when you get there. But soon enough, you'll be spending your romantic time together and think of the story you'll have to tell your family and friends when you get back home.
I mean, Nelson's got the right idea, guys. This will all be over before you know it. At least for those of us who didn't know either of the victims.
I suppose you're right, Nelson. I think we are losing sight of why we're on this trip in the first place.
Yeah. Thanks, Nelson. This whole thing is making me a little crazy, I think.
How is it that you stay so calm and positive? Aren't your plans for Los Angeles going to be messed up too? Didn't you say you had a meeting about your music or something?
Well, truth be told, friends, I don't actually have a meeting in Los Angeles. I sent out lots of copies of my songs to all the record labels, but I didn't hear back from any of them. So I decided to go to Los Angeles on my own, to make it on my own. And if I'm not positive, how will I have the courage to make it?
Wow, Nelson, I don't think I'd be able to just dive into something like that. I bet someone will decide to give you a chance.
Yeah, that's so inspiring. I bet your music is great. Want to share some of it with us?
I would love to, friends. I was just writing some new songs on this eventful journey of ours. I think I left it over at my table in all the confusion. Come, take a look.
Hello, everyone. Jillian, there you are. Have you seen Owen? I need to speak with him.
Sorry, business lady friend. We haven't seen them in a while. Anything we can do to help?
Yeah, you don't look so good. Is everything okay? It's fine. I just lost something. I'll look around here and see if I can find it. What are you all up to in here?
Well, Nelson was just about to play some of his music for us.
You're sitting around playing music at a table where someone was just murdered? Aren't you at all bothered by what's going on?
Well, I mean, is something wrong? Is something the matter, Miss Millen? Can I help you find something?
No, I'm fine, Jillian. Thank you. If you see Owen, please send him in my direction.
Of course.
What are you doing? Hang out barrel of food here and serve the evidence. Oh well, never mind. It appears that no one here cares that 2 people died here recently, and that nothing should be touched until processed by the proper authorities. Where is that private investigator anyways? Shouldn't you be handling this?
I never said I was going to touch anything. All I said is I forgot my wallet. I didn't think that would disturb the evidence, did you? Wait, why did you follow me in here anyway? Don't trust me? Think you have something to hide?
Well, people eager to remove things from crime scenes seem awfully suspicious to me. Also, if you have to know, I left my reading glasses in here earlier during all this confusion.
So it's okay for you to come get your glasses, but it's not okay for me to come get my wallet? Why is that? Seems pretty suspicious to me.
Because I won't barrel through here and serve everything in sight.
I don't barrel anywhere.
Will you two stop it? You've been at each other's throats all night. We have much larger problems than whatever it is you're fighting about.
Really? You two should take a page out of Nelson's book.
That isn't exactly
So
what I meant.
true, friend.
If we could just focus on the problem. Come on, guys. Let's go be calm and positive elsewhere.
For the last time, get out of my kitchen!
We're chefs, not murderers.
We had nothing to do with this.
I'm not accusing you of murder. I'm just concerned about the safety of the passengers. We have to get to the bottom of this.
Is it very safe for the other passengers that we store bodies in my cooler?
We emptied the coolers before we put the bodies in it. There's no danger to the passengers there.
Hey, Jillian, what's up? Did you come to help us sleuth for clues?
No, actually. I lost my phone. I think maybe I might have dropped it back here during all the commotion with Sydney. Did you guys put him in the cooler too?
Unfortunately, they did.
It's completely unacceptable.
Listen, for the last time, it's
Cut it out! Look, here are 2 more people to invade my kitchen.
We're not here to invade your kitchen. We actually came to tell you how much we enjoyed the meal we just had.
As you should.
What are all of you doing in here?
We were sleuthing for clues in the kitchen.
sort of. I'm convinced that these deaths have to do with something the victims ate.
Owen, I need to speak with you.
We already told you. There are virtually no foods that could cause this to happen. You searched the kitchen. Did you find any dangerous food?
We all ate the same things. Take it from people who work in a kitchen. When you serve something like this, an event where everyone eats the same food, you have no idea which plates are going to end up at which tables.
And do you really think the kitchen staff randomly decided to put dangerous food on just 2 plates? And even if they did,
Hey!
I'm not saying that you did. But really, what are the chances that those 2 plates would end up in front of the intended people? Seems way too coincidental to me.
Okay, I get it. What about the waitstaff, though? They serve each person individually, and were in the room the whole time before the meal was served. Plenty of time to see where each person was sitting.
We've been in and out of the kitchen a dozen times by now. The trays get handed right to the waitstaff, and then they walk them out the front door. When would they have the chance to sabotage the food?
Weren't Isabella and Sydney at different tables? Did 2 separate waiters decide to commit murder?
I see what you're saying. The food here doesn't quite add up.
If you are all quite satisfied, we will be returning to the kitchen without all of you.
What's missing?
Owen, I need to speak with you.
I know it's missing.
What are you talking about?
Owen said something is missing. I know it's missing.
You do?
No need to sound surprised.
I didn't mean it like that. I just meant that.
Okay, enough. Mike, what are we missing?
Seems to me that we're too hung up on finding out the how, and not finding out the why. People died, we've got that. It happened in a train car, we've got that too. Now I spent the whole night chasing some food theory that has gotten us nowhere. You can only try for a layup so many times without a score before you have to change plays and go for an outside three-point shot. So let's back up, reassess, and try another approach to the problem.
Elliot!
You think it was Elliot who killed them?
No. Elliot can tell us what's missing.
I don't follow you.
You know how he's always writing down everything he sees? He was in the dining car the whole time, writing everything down. He's taking notes right now. I bet he can help us remember what everyone would do.
Abby, that's a great idea.
Hey, I bet if you put Elliot's notes with Sydney's photos, you could paint a picture of practically everything that was happening in the dining car that night. Where's Sydney's camera anyway?
I remember seeing it on the table when we moved the bodies. Let me just check. Hey, the camera isn't here.
What? Well, where could it have gone?
So many people have been in and out of this room all night. If anyone had taken it, no one would be the wiser.
I bet Elliot can help us with that too, though. What do you say, Elliot?
Elliot was displeased to have his writing disturbed. However, he recognized the importance that his notes could play in solving these two mysterious murders, especially in light of the disappearance of the photographer's camera, which created a large gap in the quest for visual evidence.
I believe that was a yes.
Jen, let's go see if we can find that camera.
No. All of us are staying right here until we figure this thing out. But, look, I know not everyone is here, but Mike was onto something before. All of us who are in this room right now have been trying like crazy to figure out what happened here tonight. And either we're all the best actors ever, or we're the ones that genuinely don't have anything to hide. Either way, let's go back through the notes together and maybe focus on the people who haven't been trying to solve the crime.
Owen, I need to speak with you privately, now.
What's up, Avery? You don't look so good.
Avery, I don't mean to intrude, but if you're feeling sick, we really need to do something.
No, I'm fine. Actually, Lauren, good thing you're here. So you both know that I work for a pharmaceutical company and that I'm on my way to Los Angeles with samples for a presentation, right?
Right.
Well, when the train stopped suddenly, when there was that rock slide on the tracks, I opened up my samples case to check on everything, and all seemed to be fine. But later, when I returned to my cabin after dinner, I opened it again, and this time I noticed that one of the vials was missing.
What?
Avery? This isn't good. What did it contain? That's the worrisome part. It's a new medication that my company is working on developing for patients at risk for heart failure. It hasn't been widely tested yet.
So what you're saying is we're missing a vial of untested heart medication on a train where 2 people have been found dead due to heart failure?
Oh my goodness.
What is it?
Avery's missing a vial of medicine that leads to heart failure.
Are you serious? When were you going to share that piece of information with the rest of us?
This is so exciting. I gotta get this down.
Owen, your whole let's focus on the other people theory is crazy. This woman clearly had the means to commit these murders, and she had the opportunity. She was at the same table as Isabella, who was rude to her.
Do you really think she would have brought this to our attention if she was the one who committed the crime?
Maybe that's her plan, to make us think she's innocent.
But, oh, wait. From what I'm reading here, Avery was nowhere near Sydney at any point in the evening. See? And I think it's somewhat far-fetched for there to be 2 separate burners on this train.
Derek, come back. Derek, where are you going? Derek, I told you to stop.
Let's just give those 2 a minute. Avery, tell us more about this heart medication. It's safe to assume this is the best lead we've had so far for causing death.
Well, like I said before, its primary function is to help patients at risk for heart failure by regulating heart function. For a sick person, too little would be ineffective, but too much could be very dangerous.
So, what would happen if someone without heart problems took it?
I would assume that the same would hold true for a healthy person. A small dose would likely go unnoticed, but a large dose could cause serious heart problems.
What characteristics does the medicine itself have? Would people realize they were taking it?
Or could it be hidden somehow?
Actually, that's where my company's been focusing our research. All of the medications I have with me for the trip are in liquid form with no added colors or flavors. We're working on developing a new line of medications for those who have difficulty swallowing traditional medicines.
That sounds like a great idea. I bet that'd be awesome for animals too.
Focus!
Okay. So if you claim it wasn't you, who else had access to your case?
That's the thing. The case never left my possession, and I'm the only one with a key that I have right here. The only times all night that the case were open were right after the rock slide, and just now in my room.
Sorry about before, everyone. I'm a little on edge. I thought we could use some water. Anyone?
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Hell here was far from all this excitement and welcome subscribers.
Sounds good to me.
Don't drink that!
What? Why? What's the matter?
The water glasses. That has to be what's happened.
If the medicine is a liquid, it would be very easy to add to a beverage.
And the medicines are designed to have no added colors or flavors. No one would even know they were drinking it.
Elliot took amazing notes, and right before both deaths occurred, many of us were drinking water.
What about when Sydney died? I don't remember drinking anything then.
It's not quite as clear. But remember, right before Sydney died, those who had helped move Isabel's body, they came back and drank water then.
Well, good catch. Now we need to figure out who got a hold of the medicine and got close enough to put it in both of their waters.
We gotta find Sydney's camera too.
Yeah, that too.
I believe if we continue to look back through this notebook, we'll find out who had the opportunity.
We might not need the notebook.
I think you're right.
Attention passengers, we'll be arriving in Los Angeles in approximately 10 minutes. Please be prepared to leave all belongings on board when exiting until authorities have had the opportunity to survey the scene and speak to everyone individually. Thank you.
Do you both have an idea of what happened?
Tell us.
Okay, everyone. We have 10 minutes before we reach Los Angeles. Let's grab that notebook and get to work. Now that we know exactly what we're looking for, we can catch the murderer by surprise when we get there if we all work together. Are you all in?
Yeah. Everyone hands in, hands in. Go team!
Just arrived, West Coast Parkway from Salt Lake City is just arrived, West Coast Parkway.
All right, everybody, back up, get out of the way. Official police investigation. This docking bay is now closed. Back up, everyone. Looking at you. Get out of the way.
All right, folks, head right over here and begin taking your statements. Please, folks, all belongings stay on the train until we conduct an adequate search.
Come on, keep the line moving. Don't separate. Keep it going. Come on.
Elliot wanted
Sir,
to
you-
comply with the officer's wishes. However, he failed to understand how any of our possessions could possibly pertain to this particular investigation. What?
He doesn't like to be separated from his notepad. I can take my book back on the train, though. I can take your case for you and your guitar for you, too, as well.
That won't be necessary, Abby. I'll be handing my case straight to the police.
Miss Millet, you're handing your samples over to the police? Don't you think you should keep them with you?
Nonsense, you heard the officers. Everything on this train is evidence. I wouldn't want to complicate their investigation by leaving them with a case of dangerous samples that they couldn't open. Here are all of my pharmaceutical samples, as well as the key to the case.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hello, officers. My name is Owen Casey, and I'm a private investigator. I wanted to deliver this evidence straight to you, along with this silver case. In this bag is the notepad from our resident writer, Elliot Williams, which I think you will find very helpful when reconstructing the activities on the train during the journey. This bag also contains the camera from our deceased paparazzo, Sidney Bennett, who was constantly taking pictures until he died.
Wait, you found the camera?
That's awesome. Where was it?
I had no clue our photographer friend's camera was even missing.
You say this camera was missing. Where did you find it?
Actually, Sydney's camera was never missing. My camera that I brought for my upcoming lecture is missing. Sydney's camera was underneath his table the whole time.
I took the opportunity to go through the photos, and Sydney took one clear as day of Isabella's murderer poisoning her water glass.
Oh my gosh, poison? But who? Why didn't he say anything?
Do you think he was still trying to make more money? I knew it wasn't food.
Photograph of the poisoning.
And the case contains the poison?
After Isabella died, it didn't take long for us to figure out that her death was no accident. Everyone else was fine. At first, we all thought she may have gotten hurt when the train stopped suddenly. But the doctor here confirmed that wasn't the case.
That's true. I checked on everyone right after the train stopped, and no one was injured.
Who was it? Who poisoned Isabella?
At first, we all thought that Sidney did. He had the most to gain by selling off the pictures of Isabella's murder. Of course, he denied it and said we could look through his camera to see if we could find any helpful pictures.
And this Sidney is the person who is now deceased?
That's when we realized that Sidney couldn't be the murderer. After Sidney died, we knew we had to look at other potential suspects.
Avery, you weren't even with the people trying to figure out who killed Isabella and Sydney. Derek, Jennifer, Lauren, and Abby all went with Owen to look for clues. How did you end up being the one to figure it out?
I realized that I was carrying around a whole case worth of potential danger. After the rock slide, I opened up my samples case to check on everything, and everything was fine. But later, when I checked on it, I noticed that a vial of medicine was missing.
Missing? We need to find it. You guys could all be in danger.
Wait, your medicine poisoned Isabella. It was you. It must have been you. You were the only one that had access to your case, and you're sitting right next to her at dinner. And then all of a sudden you check on it and it's there, and then now it's just disappeared? I can't believe that you tried to make me feel better after you killed her!
Lucy, listen, I thought the same thing as well. But after we went through Elliot's notebook, we realized Avery could not have killed Sydney. She was there. She wasn't there at any point of the evening. She couldn't have killed him, and she couldn't have killed Isabella.
But there was one other person at the table with you, Isabella. One other person who had access to the case of pharmaceuticals. And the only person who was near both Isabella and Sydney right before their deaths.
Jillian!
Going somewhere? Gotta be quicker than that, surprise me.
Fine, you figured it out. It was me.
Jillian, how could you?
Lucy, I didn't mean to kill her. Honest, I didn't.
But you did kill her.
And why Sydney? Why? I was so angry with the way Isabella treated us at the station when we were buying our tickets. And again at dinner. What did you think gave her the right to act that way? To talk down to us, to all of us. Fame does not give people the right to act that way.
You killed her because you were angry about her insults?
No, I just wanted to down a notch. She was so concerned about looking her best and being better than everyone else that I thought maybe I'd post pictures of her getting sick all over the train right before her big movie premiere would be just the thing to ruin her perfect Hollywood image.
So you poisoned her to make her sick?
When Avery opened the case after the train stopped, slipped out the vial closest to me, and during all the commotion, I poured some in Isabella's water. But I had no idea that what I put in her water would kill her. I didn't mean for her to die.
I can't believe this. How many times have I told you that we work with dangerous items? What were you thinking?
And why kill Sydney, though? He was going to sell the embarrassing photos just like you had planned.
When Sydney kept talking about I was going to sell the pictures and make all this money, I realized it doesn't matter what happens to Isabella. She's still going to be famous, and Sydney's going to get rich off of her fame.
So you killed him?
When Owen and Sydney went to go look through the camera to find pictures of the murderer, I knew I had to get it. He never stopped taking pictures. I was sure he had one of me poisoning the water. And I knew I'd never get it from him willingly. He never put that thing down. And I still had the rest of the vial in my pocket, so as soon as I had the opportunity, I put the rest in his one.
You knew it was going to kill him and you did it anyway?
And for nothing! I was just faster to get the camera as soon as I could. Now I find out I have somebody else's camera! I didn't even see anyone else with a camera!
That's because no one else had one.
You know, I wonder why you kept calling this water glass a camera. Well, I just went along with it.
Avery and I figured out that Jillian was the only one who had access to the case of medicine, and we knew she must be the murderer. Holly went back through Elliot's notes and realized that Jillian must have Sydney's camera, but we knew she would never give up the evidence unless we tricked her into it.
And I decided that if we pretended we had the camera, it might make Jillian nervous enough to suppress it. And I was right.
So, I had the camera all along, and you guys didn't have a picture of me poisoning anyone!
Well, now that you've confessed, we don't really need a picture.
Exactly. Come this way, criminal.
No!
Alright, folks, well, I'm still gonna have to ask you to come to the station for a few minutes, but now that we have a confession and a murder, it shouldn't take much of your time. If you guys will follow me, I have cars waiting to take you guys downtown.
Nice work, everyone. Abby, brilliant idea with the camera bluff.
Abby, I know I didn't want to work on this trip, but obviously this trip had other plans. You're a great asset for all the chaos. You're very bright, and I'm sure it'll make a superb vet tech.
That means a lot. I learned so much about using people under pressure from you. Did you know you're an animal?
Well, I do hate to admit it, but you've had some effective impact throughout this investigation.
How teacher judge a book by its cover? Yeah, Professor?
Mike, I never did hear what your college degree is.
Criminal justice.
Well, this was all very surprising.
I'll say, what a way to start our honeymoon.
You and Jennifer work so well together.
I suppose we did. You know, we work much better together when we aren't fighting.
You're right, Jen. We need to keep ourselves on track, listening to each other and working together on the restaurant instead of against each other.
If I may, my cooking friends, I happen to know a fabulous musician who's good at keeping people calm and relaxed, and is also happening to looking for work.
Come on, Nelson. Let's talk to those in the car.
Hey, Lee.
Hey, Avery. You coming? Yeah. I'm really sorry I thought you were a murderer.
To be honest, I feel somewhat responsible. I should have been more careful about who I trusted to be my assistant and handle my samples.
You couldn't have known what she was capable of doing. I don't think anybody realized it. I know I didn't.
Well, this may not be the best timing, but I find myself in need of a new assistant. Someone with good organizational skills, a good mind for business, who's good at following directions. Someone who might be in need of employment.
Me? You want me to be your assistant?
I know you might have a lot on your plate in the near future, handling Isabella's affairs, but when everything's over, give me a call. Salt Lake City's a great place to live.
Oh, I will. Elliot, come on!
Elliot realized that he was the last train passenger remaining on the platform. Before leaving to join the others, he wanted to take some time to reflect on the bizarre events that befell him and his fellow passengers on this crazy journey. After this train journey, it was unlikely any of their lives would ever be the same. New friendships created, and old ones pushed to their absolute limits. And new opportunities presented. What an incredible story this would make!
Wow. Thank you. Wow. Thank you so much for that. I'm so thankful that you guys got to see a little bit of how hard they've been working. I wish you could have seen the growth these last few months that we've had on the stage. It's been pretty awesome. I pushed a lot of these people way outside of their comfort zone, and some of them were thriving all in their comfort zone, okay? They do not mind the spotlight. But super quickly before I let you go, I just wanted to make you aware of some people who helped us make this project happen, especially, well, first of all, the people who helped build this beautiful set. That was Mr. Light and Mr. Dan Libby and Mr. Pryor as well. And Mr. Bobby McCamey, who is a really big part of our ministry, but he had an extensive surgery done, and so he had to miss a lot of the set building, but he hurried back so he could put some finishing Mr. Bobby touches on it. So we're very thankful for them. So if you could give them a round of applause, they did an awesome job. And then those first 4 people that I had come out here and move the bench and show you who the magicians were moving the set all night. These are my stage hands, and 2 of them, specifically Emma and Lexi, they're a part of our junior class, and they were also my stage managers throughout this project. So they were a really big help for me, literally my right and left arm lifting these things and moving them. So I just wanted to notice them as well. And Josh is over there in the sound booth. He didn't come up here to bow because he was finishing off the show for me. So, Josh, thank you, buddy, for everything you did for me, too. Y'all can clap for Josh, too. And then, so of course, this is our junior class project. So our speech class culminates to this, usually every year. And so our junior class does this for a grade, but there are some people who jump onto this project and join us to help it happen. I have some seniors in our cast. Seniors, you can raise your hand. And I've got some, oh, you can clap for them. Go ahead. They don't have anything to do senior year. No college decisions, nothing. They're not making any choices. They just had free time, so they joined us. So I have some seniors, and then I also have some sophomores. I have some freshmen. Everybody raise your hand who's not in the junior class. Yeah. So I just wanted to thank them again publicly for coming out of class, missing class, and taking notes and all the things because they had to be at rehearsals, and teachers in here allowing me to do that. And there's also this one little unspoken person who works at West Florida who I forgot to honor a minute ago, and that's Miss Sandy Riddick, who was doing that concession stand out there so you guys could have some snacks throughout the night. So thank you, Miss Sandy, wherever you are. And then, of course, I always like to take a moment to thank Ms. Bacon and Pastor Mike and Ms. Kemp, our administration, who have a place like this for us to be able to come here and do something like this and exhibit these talents that some of these guys didn't even know they had, that the Lord gave them, and allow them to have fun and bond this way with their class. It truly is a blessing. So thank you guys for letting me do something like this. That was a lot of fun. Oh, yeah, you can clap for them, too. Go ahead. So last night we didn't get to do a greeting line because they had to go home because it was a school night. But tonight they're going to go line up in the back for you so that you can walk by and tell them they did a good job tonight and hug them and congratulate them for an awesome show. And thank you all again for being here. We really appreciate it. Have a wonderful night and a great weekend.